All right, ready?
Yep.
Welcome to the dungeon. No, I'm just. All right, let's get it on.
Uh-oh. No more lies.
That's the Riddler. But who did that? He's the main villain.
Friend. Who?
Nirvana.
Yeah, it is. I think so.
Haven't a clue. Let's play a game. Just me and you. Any of this mean anything to you?
I like the eyes.
I'm not sure if I like the suit. I gotta take another look at it.
It's low budget. Remember, he's year 2.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, this sounds like when he first come out.
Yeah.
Gotham Knight.
Yeah.
You know.
Why is he writing to you?
If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
The hell are you supposed to be?
Pissed off.
I'm vengeance.
Oh, not bad, not bad. He got a souped up Camaro.
Yeah.
You're part of this too.
How am I part of this?
You'll see.
No.
Not bad.
Okay. You know, I think that I have to say I underestimated the Twilight dude. You know, I forgot his name.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Well, they call him.
Their trailer.
Yeah, they're calling him
Yeah.
Battinson right now, but like they did
Yeah.
with Affleck, they call him Batflick. But
Yeah.
I my first impression was, first of all, that one scene. They were smart putting that particular scene.
Yeah.
Because they didn't give a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
action, but the one scene they gave was that little quick little him beating the
Yeah.
dog shit out of that boy, and I was like,
Mm.
I like that. That means he's gonna have
Yeah.
the right attitude. I felt grittiness. I felt mystery. I felt so that really got me excited because you're basically putting a murder mystery type thing with Batman being the world's best detective, on the mission, and that's what I was when I read about the movie. The only thing that got me excited about it was the fact that they're gonna go along with the detective Batman, which we haven't really explored. They touched on it a little bit with Christian Bale's Batman, but he didn't do a lot. This one's supposed to
he's
be
more gadget.
Yeah.
More gadget.
Yeah, the gadgets, yeah.
So this one's supposed to be geared towards him just learning how to be Batman, but he's known, everybody knows him, but he's still on the come up, and this is going to be his first big test, where the Riddler's going to hit him, and then Penguin's in it too. Penguin's in it, Catwoman's in it. That one scene with Catwoman.
Yeah.
So
you saw Catwoman.
Yeah, they showed Penguin too, but you don't notice him because it's Colin Farrell, but he's dressed up in his makeup.
Yeah.
But they showed it online with a close up where it showed where he showed his face. I was like, oh, that was him.
Right.
It's Penguin, but we don't know that yet.
So I was almost writing it off at the beginning when I saw the suit until you said this is year 2 Batman. Then it made sense.
Same thing with the
come on,
Batmobile.
Batman, high tech, gadgets, and all
Billionaire.
that good stuff.
Yeah,
exactly. So I almost wrote it off until you said that.
Because you know what, the Nolan verse when they did it with the Christian Nolan's version, Christopher, no, excuse me, when they did his version, I believed it because it made sense that he has an R&D department, and it makes sense that he's a billionaire. He could just go down there and be like, I want that, that, and that. And then of course Lucius Fox was like, "Hey, it's your stuff. You're the billionaire, right?"
Yeah,
Here.
do
So
whatever you want.
it made sense, and I was like, "That's cool. That's believable. I can see that happening." Well, now they're doing it a completely different way. He's still a billionaire, obviously, but now he's doing it. He's creating it all on his own. He's creating. So that's what it looks like: random cargo pants, random boots that he just threw together. Looked like he created his armor out of just.
Real vigilante stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think right now it's going to be nitty gritty, and then in the future he's going to invest into it because
build.
Yeah.
I'm actually
that's what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that is year 1, year 2.
And we're not getting the whole start over again.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah. Even you could tell the car is not the you know,
it's not the flashy
Batmobile.
Yeah, it's not the Batmobile. It's the put together mobile. But the one thing I have to say is that I'm tired of getting of these restarts, man.
I'm sick of it.
Granted,
true.
It's somebody new. Granted, you could probably make like 10 Batman movies, but probably by that time the guy's gonna be a little older. So I'm glad that they restarted. He does look younger. But yeah, I mean,
if they do this right, they can turn this into not a trilogy, but they can do 4 or 5 movies out of this. Because if they're starting him year 2, you can build on
series,
and you can use him growing into the character and getting older with the character. And fast forward, even if you go like the 5th movie, make it 10-year jump like they did with the Nolan verse, and now just throw some gray hair on him, and now he's an older Batman. Look, but they can do so much with this, and if they're gonna do it,
especially because the guy's very young. Especially because he's very young. But I think Batman is the superhero that has the most movies. I mean, you got the 80s, with Michael Keaton. Then,
then the flops in the middle. Yeah, the flops in the middle.
I really like that one.
You're crazy.
I like that one.
You're so crazy. I hated every one of those.
No, I did.
Oh,
I ain't gonna lie, I did.
You would rather have George Clooney or Val Kilmer?
No, I hated both.
Batman.
I hated both Batmans. I hated both.
But here's the thing. Like right now, if those movies was to come out now, absolutely trash.
Yeah.
But for its time, those movies were fucking.
It's funny
because
I felt the opposite.
Nicole Kidman did a great job, man. Like
at that time, I felt the opposite. I felt that they were going too. You know what it felt like? They went from Batman, which I thought could have been more realistic, but it was still decent. But they went from that and they went backwards, comic bookish, where they made it more cartoonish and more comic bookish, and they made it almost Dick Tracy like. You remember that movie Dick Tracy?
Yeah.
It felt like that, and I didn't like that feel for Batman. So when they remade it years later in 2005 with that Christopher Nolan version, I fell in love with the realistic version. I said that's Batman because I can imagine that happening in real life. I can see that. So that's what, for me, it wasn't comic bookish. It made a comic book character feel real in this world. That's what I liked.
Yeah.
So for me, that's why I didn't like the other two.
It's two different perspectives because I actually like the Val Kilmer one because it was just like the
more
comic
booky.
His Batmobile had the little wing, the bat wing, and all that. Two-Face, Tommy Lee Jones did a great, and obviously Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
As the Riddler, that was like the perfect casting call ever.
And then Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Freeze. That was good casting. They did do some good casting as far as the villains, but I didn't like it. I totally did not like him. I literally probably
definitely did not like Clooney as the Batman. I wrote that movie.
I watched both of those versions made no more than twice. Both versions.
I gotta lie. I saw Val Kilmer, man, because growing up,
I liked Val Kilmer. Yeah, I liked Val Kilmer.
And they'll repeat the movies like later on, like it'll come out at 3 p.m. and then like at 11, they'll play it again.
Yeah,
man.
play it again.
I saw that over and over.
Yeah.
But my favorite one so far is definitely the Christian Bale one. Christian Bale's
so far. But this one might. I mean. If that's a teaser video, obviously, and I'm excited to see what the next trailers are going to look like because they're going to give you more footage, and obviously the movie's obviously what we really want. But in the meantime, I wasn't really interested in this Batman movie at all. I wasn't excited about seeing the trailer when it came out. I was looking at it all day, seeing the things pop up about it, and I was like, So now to actually sit it and watch it and see it for what it is like it might be decent. It might be really good. It could be a good direction. So I'm very open and I'm excited because DC needs to turn it around. Marvel's on Project
I've
10,000 now.
already.
Yeah, Marvel.
I've already
like
said it.
years.
I said it a year or two ago. Actually, I said it when Disney bought Marvel. I was like, this is the time that DC needs to step it up.
Yeah,
Because
they definitely need
Disney,
to
in my
step it up.
opinion,
Yeah.
Disney is going to ruin Marvel for me.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in that. Yeah,
I think
they came out.
They ruined Star Wars, but Marvel
Yeah.
They've done it right because
Well,
Marvel.
here's the thing.
Marvel still has
They've
control.
done it right.
Marvel still has control. They
Yeah.
just use DC's platform. I mean, they just use Disney's platform and their
Yeah.
and their.
But
and their
here's the
sources.
thing: Disney is probably going to manhandle them, right? Because right now they had after they acquired Marvel, they already had projects in the makings and the work, so Disney couldn't change that too much. Yeah, I mean they couldn't put their finger in that too much. So now that all of those pre-made projects are gone, everything that comes out is going to be I'm scared.
Yeah, but especially now that they've gotten through that whole storyline as far as with Thanos and everything. So now they're starting fresh. Yeah. They're starting over. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. I mean,
now
this
is the time that DC needs to step up.
Disney has this thing that they're trying to do a lot of things that are, from their perspective, politically correct. And there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes I think that they just take it a little bit too far, in the sense of changing characters around and stuff like that, which it's fine, but they tweak it too much and they want to do it done Disney way, which unfortunately, I mean, Marvel did a great job. I didn't even know or had the foresight to see that they were gonna make the whole universe together after Iron Man, because they dropped Iron Man. Remember, me and Kaotic, we used to go. We actually went to see a couple ones at the midnight previews. I think it was the Avengers and what's the other one?
I think we saw
Captain America. Captain America was definitely one of them. Yeah. So I did once we started seeing that everything was gonna get put together. I was like, wow. I mean, and they did it.
Flawlessly.
No more than 2 years.
Yeah,
no more than 2 years. They're dropping a movie. No more than 2 years. They're Robert Downey Jr. His money.
I think what happened. DC got punched in the face because they weren't expecting what they were doing, and they started to ramp it up. So DC with Zack Snyder, he decided to revamp Superman. Right, drop Man of Steel in 2013, which I thought. Well, I'm a Superman fan. When I saw that version of Superman, I was completely blown away because I was like, that's Superman. Like, meaning he wasn't Superman yet, meaning he wasn't acting like Superman. But to watch him grow and to have to struggle to figure out who he is in this world and to see the realism of, oh shit, he's an alien. Think about it. When you look at the first Superman movie, the original one with Christopher Reeves, and he's talking to Lois Lane with their interview on the rooftop, and she says, "Oh, where are you from?" He's like, "I'm from Krypton." And she's like, "Oh, okay. What the fuck you mean? Yeah, okay. He just told you he's from another planet."
He told you. He's
Excuse
an alien.
me. So when Zack Snyder made it, that was the point of the movies, that he's an alien, and he used that same storyline to carry into BVS. It made so much sense. What they screwed up at is the studio got involved because now they're pushing the buttons like, "Hey, Zack, we need to compete with these guys. So we need to make the Justice League." What are you talking about? We haven't introduced any characters yet. So what they do, they forced him to introduce everything into BVS, so it made the movie not good. So now you're bringing all these characters in, and then they forced him into a Justice League. He had personal problems because he had, I think, one of his children committed suicide, and he needed to step away from the project. And his wife works on the project with him. Every project he does, she works with him. So they both stepped away. That's why Josh got called up. But then WB trying to compete with Civil, so they got whooped because of Civil War. Civil War destroyed BVS, and they're trying to make Justice League this. So they're like, "Oh, it's too dark." Well, you got to let Zack do his thing. His vision is dark now, but it's gonna show. We got to get through the darkness to get to the light, and they wouldn't let him build the story and build the franchise, so it messed everything up. I'm thankful that they're giving him a shot to show his vision of the Justice League. Which, did you see that trailer that just dropped yesterday?
Yeah. I saw that trailer.
I like the changes. I said, look, there's so much footage that wasn't even in the original. So I'm like, Zack's, the way he made what's the villain name? Oh boy, brain fart. Steppenwolf. The way he made Steppenwolf look like a little soldier with a robotic soldier thing, alien. Oh, mwah. I'm like, that looks badass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then of course we finally got what's his face? Darkseid. Oh, come on, it's gonna be great. So
yeah, Darkseid was really good.
So I'm excited.
The whole, I think DC is definitely stepping it up, and they're doing it the right way. It's just Marvel has had an up
light
on
years
them for
ahead.
years.
They're light years.
Yeah.
The funny part is DC started this whole thing.
Yeah,
and they got blown out now.
Well,
they did.
Well, Marvel started with Spawn.
Ceasefire, backfire, go backwards. Superman in the 70s.
Yeah, true.
Then Superman 2.
True.
Then
and
Batman.
The Batman. Corny Batman.
Yeah, true.
All of those.
Right.
All of those
were
DC.
Full sexual innuendos.
And then that's the thing. Think about it. Back then. Go ahead. Sorry.
What I'm getting at is, Spawn was the intro to the Marvel universe as we know it.
Wrong.
You know what I mean?
Wrong. You know who it was? You got the wrong movie. It was.
It was Blade.
It was Blade.
Blade. Yeah. No. Yeah. You're right. It was Blade. Yeah.
But Blade,
you're right.
In '98.
But even then,
was a lot.
Blade was the project. Blade was the project that Marvel had to put all their money in the basket to this one thing, and if it didn't work, they were going to bankrupt because they were selling their characters. That's how Sony ended up with Spider-Man, and that's how all these X-Men ended up with Fox, because they had to sell their rights to stay alive.
Yeah,
they put all their eggs in one basket with Blade, and that's why they turned it into a trilogy, because it did well.
Yeah.
And that's how they got their revenue back up. But you're right, Spawn played a role in there as well, but it wasn't the anchor. It was
Blade. You're right. You're right. But that still goes back to my point. All the Supermans and the Batmans they wasn't like building that universe.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
No, they were
not like as we know it now.
Projects.
Yeah,
in the '60s they dropped let's say
the old Batman,
Batman and Ryman, and then in the '70s they got Christopher Reeves, which they did a little trilogy. But come on, I mean,
they did 4 actually.
It's the first one.
Yeah, the first one's the best one. Yeah.
Yeah, is the first one. Then they go, when it comes to Superman, they go silent for
years.
What, 20 years. I think it was in 2006 with
Brandon
they
Routh.
made the Return of Superman or whatever.
And
he did okay.
But the problem they did is they tried to pick up with the Christopher Reeve story instead of creating a new version like Zack Snyder. They tried to piggyback off of the old Christopher Reeve. So basically, he was Christopher Reeve. He was replacing Christopher Reeve.
Yeah,
and it didn't work well.
He looked like a twin. He looked just like his twin.
It was a good. I liked the movie, but of course, if you want me to choose between 2006 and 13. I'm going with 13 all day. Zack Snyder's version was way better because it was new reinvention of the character.
But come on, this guy, the guy that cast it as Superman, is the most Superman-like person.
That was Zack Snyder Zack Snyder is a genius when it comes to casting. Yeah. Everyone questions the casting. When he chose Henry Cavill, people were like, he's too skinny because he just did the movie. He just did the movie Immortals. Remember Immortals in 2011? And he was skinny. He was skinny as hell. So when he got cast as Superman, everybody's like, this skinny, like almost how they did with the Batman, the Batman with Pattinson. Everybody's like, he's too skinny. And he bulked up for the role, big time. Same thing with when he cast Gal Gadot, because she's a skinny girl. And Wonder Woman, when you look at Wonder Woman, you think of her, right? Yeah. But she perfect. And then he cast Ben Affleck. Everybody beat him up for it. And then we saw that warehouse scene. It was like,
Ben Affleck didn't do too bad.
He didn't do a bad job at all. So
the guy's a great actor. You can't.
But imagine this:
if he stops drinking, he does.
Exactly. His personal problems get in the way. But imagine this: they just now decided that they're bringing back Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton's Batman's back. They're bringing back Ben Affleck. So Ben Affleck's back, and they're using them both in the Flash movie, from my understanding. And when Flash goes in, man, this is about to blow up, bro. Because they're going with the Speed Force, and Flash is going in the time and all of that. And that's what he's gonna do. That's what's gonna make this Justice League movie the best. Is because remember in BVS they had that stupid scene where Batman fell asleep behind the wheel, He's sitting there on the computer waiting on the download, and then out of nowhere, boom, you got this little weird thing going on, and it's Barry trying to tell him, hey, it's Lois Lane's the key, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And everybody's like, what the hell was that nightmare sequence, right? Well, come to find out, that's him and the Speed Force trying to warn Batman about what to do. Well, Joss Whedon cut all of that stuff out of the movie, so nothing made sense from what happened before. Now we're going to get all that back. Yeah. So I'm excited because they showed the 2 Flash scenes in the movie where one he saved Iris West, which is old girl playing her. I forgot her name, but she's cute as hell. I love her. And then you got the second scene where you
get all the woman, bro. Yeah. You can't get all the woman.
You see him standing there.
You got to leave some at least for pain.
It looks like
I know, right?
It looks like everything's going fuzzy around the Flash, and I'm like, that must be the Speed Force. That has to be the Speed Force. Yeah. So he's going in time. So I'm excited.
One series of movies that I think they messed it up, and he does a really good job. Is the what do you call it? The Green Lantern.
Oh,
Green Lantern.
They destroyed Green Lantern
so bad. I mean, Aquaman. I did not watch fully Aquaman. They casted the right person, but it was 2-3.
You want to know? You want to know something about Aquaman? It was crazy. I went to go see that with my roommate in the theaters. Probably day 2 of launch after it released, right? And I watched the whole thing. I enjoyed what I saw. It was a good movie, but my roommate, he asked me, he was like, so what do you think? I was like, I liked it, but at the same time, there's something wrong with that movie. I just don't know what, and to this day, I can't put my finger on it, but there was something wrong about that movie.
For me, it was I enjoyed the movie. I liked it. I thought it was a well-done movie. And come on, think how difficult that type of movie has to be. Come on.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So when I put all that into perspective for what it was, granted, when they tried to do the underwater scenes, they did the fake hair where it looks like it's floating in the water. But they're talking normal. They never really explained that, and that to me is what made it feel too fakish. Because it's like, how can they talk underwater? Because in BVS, with the scene where they show Aquaman and old girl talking, they put a bubble. They don't say no words. They show up. They fight Steppenwolf under the water, and everything's just them fighting with no audio. And then once he leaves, they created a bubble to talk. But then you turn around and on Aquaman they just talking underwater. So it didn't relate. So I didn't think they did a well job on that. So that's what threw it off for me because I kind of didn't like that. But overall, I liked the movie. I still gave it like a 6.
I did too. I did too. But he asked me my honest opinion. I gave it to him. I was like, "There's something that's off." I just couldn't put my finger on it.
Yeah.
To this day, I still can't.
But overall, I'm excited. I think they're going in the right direction now. I think with this Justice League thing, because the way this movie is getting designed, they're breaking it into 4 episodes, hour long each. Which I'm kind of upset about because I know they're not going to release them all the same day. They're going to fucking do it week by week. I'm pretty sure. I hate that. Probably. But what I do like is that you're going to get the full story the way he wanted it to be said and shown. So whether it's good or bad, you're getting the way it was going to be done. When he was behind the helm. What I'm excited about is if this thing does well, WB ain't stupid. If this thing does well. And it does just as well, and it's probably going to do, honestly, if you ask me, the number's probably going to do better than the actual theatrical version. Because everybody's curious about it. And the numbers do well, then they'll continue the story because we're not really going to see much with them fighting Darkseid or anything. Because the concept is Justice League 2, they were supposed to go to Darkseid's world. So, to take the fight to him. So, the couple images we're going to see of him is like flashbacks. So the main villain is Steppenwolf again. It's the same concept as with that. But you're going to get flashbacks, and I think you're going to see like a moment where Darkseid's going to talk to them or something and threaten them or some shit. And then Batman and it's going to be like, we got to go to take the fight to him. And that's where Justice League 2 was supposed to go. So I think the success of this will rebrand that, and they're going to be able to do... Because we all know the Flash changes everything. That's the one character that changes everything. And what I mean by that is when he goes back in time and he messes something up, the timeline changes. So that's what they're going with. Is right now with the Flash movie, that's how they're going to bring in the Michael Keaton version. They're going to tie these things in because in the DC comics they have multiple worlds. You got multiple universes.
Yeah.
The same world,
Yeah.
but on the second world, Earth 1 and 2, you'll be the same person, but you might look the same, but you do completely different person. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they're tying this thing all in, and I'm excited to see how they're gonna do it, because they're saying the Batman's still gonna go in its own story trajectory, and Justice League will probably pick back up, and they probably can continue that story as well. So we'll have two different universes going on in DC at the same time, and that's exciting to me.
True.
So that's how
I was surprised when they brought in Doomsday for the.
They screwed that up, man.
Yeah.
They had to kill because they had to kill
was the
Superman.
worst.
They had to kill Superman. And
Yeah.
what really messed the whole thing up is they were idiots to put it in a trailer. That should have been a surprise. If I would have saw that in theater with not knowing it was coming, it might have been taken better. I would have been more, oh shit. But because they teased us with the last trailer before the movie dropped, and then we all see Doomsday. First of all, the critics ate it up because he looked like shit. Which the explanation was.
And if you watch the comics or if you read the comics, then you already know what was gonna happen.
Well, the explanation is is that he's supposed to. The more he gets beat up and he builds those calluses, that's why every time he did the EMP splash, you saw more like rock-like skin. Basically, the more you beat him up, the more his body adjusts and builds up calluses to fight against it. So that's why he didn't look like he would normally look. But everybody didn't get that. They're like, he just looks weird. And then the other thing was, it was too soon. Like, you're just gonna kill Superman. Nobody got an emotional attachment to him yet.
you bringing the the guy that killed Superman on his first reboot.
On his first reboot movie,
That was insane. That was insane.
That was a mistake.
Yeah. From day one, I was like, when I saw that, I was like, man,
I
already knew
that was all the studio rushing because Man of Steel 2 was supposed to come out first, but they had to scrap it and go with BVS. But if they would have did Man of Steel 2 and built more story arc, and built Superman more, and then introduced it into BVS later, it could have worked. But they screwed it up, man. They screwed it up big time. It is what it is, but hopefully they fix it now because that's what they look like.
That's what it looks like. Hopefully.
Yeah. So I'm excited. We'll see what happens.